Hello everyone! Today's Bible readings are a little jarring, a little uncomfortable, particularly when we consider our Gospel reading. It makes us pause and reconsider our assumptions about peace, unity, and justice. While we might imagine peace as the absence of conflict and the presence of harmony, Jesus reveals a different truth. True peace is impossible without justice. And justice often disturbs things, disturbs the status quo. Unfortunately, this gospel reading has and can be used to cause harm, to support one way of thinking while condemning others who oppose that way. Seeing any fallout or division caused by this way of thinking as some sort of righteous suffering. The Roman Empire prided itself on bringing peace and unity, but only by suppressing differences and silencing the marginalized. The Pax Romana. A togetherness and peace that worked well, providing you weren't too different and that you didn't upset things. Also, it was better and preferable if you were born a Roman citizen, male, and had wealth. This desire for a lack of disrupting can be found in many, if not all, communities, including faith communities. Peace is valued as the highest goal, a state where conflict is absence and love reigns. Yet such an understanding can be simple, shallow. The so-called Roman peace was maintained not by harmony, but by suppression, exclusion, and the silencing of entire cultures. In contrast, Jesus' message was different. It was revolutionary. Real peace requires speaking out against oppression, even if it causes division and discomfort. Jesus challenges us to notice how systems of injustice means peace for people who benefit, people in positions of power, and neglect for people who are vulnerable and are at risk. Seeking justice means risking disruption, embracing righteous anger, disrupting things for a better world. When we seek justice, we disrupt systems of oppression, disrupting people who benefit from those systems. That disruption isn't wrong. It's at the center of the gospel. Jesus spoke about peace, talked about love and peace and justice, and God who is with us. God who loves us deeply, who feels deeply and passionately. God who at times feels anger. Jesus teachings challenge us, provoking transformation. Transformation demands that we listen not only to the comfortable, but also to things that are uncomfortable. Anger, sometimes labeled as intense passion, is often feared as a destructive force leading to darkness. But it is in fact a necessary precursor to change. It is not impulsive rage, but a holy dissatisfaction with injustice. If we deny anger, we risk passivity, becoming complicit in the world's brokenness. The biblical narrative does not shy away from God's anger, but uses it as a sign of God's deep commitment to justice and wholeness. Hildegard von Bingen, a holy hermit, embodied these same disruptive values. She was a holy person, composer, philosopher, and healer. She defied the constraints of her times, advocating against corruption and advocating for reform within the church. Hildegard knew the importance of both the feminine and masculine aspects of the divine, and she found God's presence not just in church doctrine, but also in nature itself. Her visions and teachings challenge established norms, and Hildegard inspired change and justice. Hildegard understood that genuine health, both spiritual and physical, required balance, compassion, and courage to confront authority when necessary. We are called then not to suppress anger or avoid confrontation or shy away in fear of causing division, but to use that energy, allowing it to push us and transform us beyond our comfort zones and create space for the new. To participate in God's work is to accept division, awkwardness, and change as necessary steps towards a more just, loving, and truly peaceful world. The way to true peace may run through the transformative and disruptive power of anger. Both Jesus and Hildegard remind us real transformation may be uncomfortable, and pursuing a just world will ruffle feathers, cause disruption. True peace isn't found in silent agreement or blind unity, but in honest confrontation with what is wrong. In communities willing to listen, to question, and to change. Their lives urge us not to shrink from controversy and challenges, but to seek a deeper, more courageous justice that begins with disrupting the false peace and inviting everyone into the work of healing, restoring, and uplifting one another. So, a question for you all today: how might we today become the troublemakers, the disruptors for justice that our world needs?